Welcome to Rick's Corner, brought to you by Old School Labs, the brand I trust and the only one I put my name to. Use my code drasin12 on the link below.
Welcome to Rick's Corner. The man, the myth, the legend. Now on with the show.
Welcome to Rick's Corner. I have John Hart back, Mr. America. We always seem to have good conversations about things. Yes. And we come up with subjects that you guys like to listen to, and we kind of get off on tangents and go down different roads because at the end of a new road is another subject. So today we were talking about the bodybuilding mentality. Every area has its own mentality. I grew up in Bakersfield, and they used to always talk about Bakersfield mentality, and I wasn't sure what that meant until I moved out of there and started dealing with my friends, and I realized that it meant very slow. Right. The thinking process was slow, and their process about moving forward in life, about being more current with clothing styles and music was set back, and that was that called the Bakersfield mentality. Bodybuilding mentality itself is more about every time you sit down to eat, it's about protein. How much protein can I get? How big do I look in this clothes? You know, are people looking at me across the room? Am I big enough, or should I open both doors and get through there? And this is how we think, or how bodybuilders think. Or
at times. At times.
Yeah, it's not 100% of the time, but it's an obsession. It's an OCD obsession, because this is what you do all the time, and this is how you want to look, and this is how you want to eat. I don't know that everybody's like that. Not everybody, of course. Not everybody has the same thoughts anyway, but what are your thoughts on that?
You know, you struck on a couple of things right there. For sure, you know, that depending on where we start from, right? As a teenage kid, most of us, I started when I was 18 years old, okay? So skinny, 17, 18-year-old. Skinny, having been skinny up till that point in time, you know, about the same height. But yeah, because I came from that, there was a little bit of that insecurity in the beginning where there was a big, you know, concern for me. How did I look? How did I look in clothes? How did I look compared to other men? You know, and was I noticed and things like that? You know, so especially from, you know, girls being heterosexual, that was a you know, a big deal as well. But you know, little did I know, right? Most of the girls just simply go for the abs and the cute smile. That's it, man.
Well, they go for one more thing.
What's that?
The wallet.
Oh, yeah.
At least that's what I'm told. I never had girls go for my wallet because I didn't feel that was necessary, and I wasn't a millionaire, so that wasn't going to happen. But I think obsession with anything like car racing, motorcycle racing, whatever you do, that you think about it all the time. Yeah. Bodybuilding is something that you're always trying to succeed and be better at what you do, and so of course you're going to analyze yourself in the mirror and in your clothing. How do I look? I hope I look good. I hope when I walk in that room I'm better than anybody in here. Yeah. Because that's what you're striving for, and you want all those sets and reps to pay off. And so you're kind of comparing yourself because most people don't train like that. And it's not a fault. You can't find fault with them because that's not their interest. Maybe they play golf and they're better than you are at hitting the ball. True, true. You know, but the same thing with women. Women don't really go for bodybuilders. That's not what they're looking for. And I've been through a lot of them. Yeah. And I've talked to a lot of women about what they feel about men. And the number one thing they like in a guy, you know what it is? Sense of humor.
Wow. Wow.
If he's got a good sense of humor and he can make me laugh, I like him. I've heard this so many times. Sure. Because it's witty, it's smart, and it's fun, and it makes it fun for them. Yeah. The number two thing is, of course, intelligence and how do you make a living. And are you stable? Fair. The body comes later. If you're in good shape, that's all part of it, but that's down the road a bit. That's just the bonus. Right. And now when you talk about looking at other people and places, I think women are more guilty of that than men, because I've been out with women. A woman comes in, they're always checking the woman out. She looks better than I do in that dress, or she's got this on, I have this on, look at her hair, she didn't do her makeup right. They're always doing that a lot. Right. So it's pretty much, it's not bodybuilding, but it's your physical presence and what you look like, you know, or if they're not in shape, you know, that girl needs to lose some weight or whatever. You know what? Let them be who they are. Yeah. But now, what age did you start bodybuilding? How old? I actually was a junior in high school, so I was 17.
Same. Okay, so same as myself. Okay, when I was 17, you know, my uncle took me to a seminar by Boyer Coe, and it was after the 1979 Mr. Olympia, where he took 3rd place. And it was at Bath Beach Bodybuilding in Brooklyn, New York. I lived in New York. And when he took me there, this was my first real exposure to bodybuilding. You know, they gave me a copy of the magazine that year with Frank Zane and Christine Zane on the cover. Remember the face from here up, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he was handsome, she was beautiful. And I looked at all the pictures and Boyer Coe coming out on stage in the tracksuit. You know, to me, this was like, again, a first exposure. And when he came out, I thought he looked great and athletic and everything. But man, when he came out and did that posing routine a little later on, oh,
he's deceiving.
I was lit up, man.
He's been on my show. Boyer's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
And he's still in good shape. I mean, his arms look tremendous. I mean, he had it all.
Yeah.
But I don't know at that age that it was really bodybuilding that caught my eye, other than the fact I wanted to get in shape. And looking at the guys in the magazines, sure, is inspirational. I mean, I'd see guys like Larry Scott and people like Steve Reeves and Bill Pearl. I think, boy, those guys put some time in the gym.
Yeah.
And the beginning workout, I don't know about you, but for me it was just about, let's see if I can improve myself a little bit and put some weight on. I was 145 pounds, so I thought, if I can get up to about 160, 170, I'll be happy.
Where were you living?
Bakersfield.
Okay, so you were, so like myself, I mean, I'm in a part of Long Island all the way in the middle of nowhere compared to here, you know, so I wasn't in that scene, in the bodybuilding scene, so I wasn't around it
No,
much.
I wasn't either. In fact, the only weights I had at the time were Sears weights that you bought and worked out in the backyard.
That's it.
And you couldn't do much, and there's not much known about routines, so you just do some curls and presses and things like that, maybe some bench presses on your barbecue table bench, which is way too wide, and it eats a rash in the back of your shoulder blades.
Well, I used to wait every month for that muscle builder at first, right? Muscle builder, and then became muscle fitness. I used to wait each month at the local, you know, candy store that had the magazines, and I'd rush on down there and get my, you know, fix of whatever articles I could get, whatever information I could get. But that's pretty much all that I had.
There was muscle builder. Hear that thunder out there?
Yeah,
muscle builder, muscle power were the first two. Then came muscle and fitness, and then they had muscle
training illustrated.
Muscle training illustrated. And Muscle Mag out of Canada. Muscle Training Illustrated was Dan Lurie.
Yes, yes.
And he was a whole different place than Joe Weider was.
Yeah, no Weider athletes in that magazine.
No.
That's right.
And that was a good magazine too.
That's right.
And he had a lot of stuff to talk about and show pictures of. The Muscle Power, Muscle Builder, and Muscle and Fitness was all Weider and his brother. And they had a lot of top stars in it. Then you got the Muscle Training, Muscle Mag International was... Kennedy out of Canada, and he had some really good stuff in there too.
Yes, yes.
And then Iron Man, of course, from Perry Rader.
Right.
And Iron Man, at that time that Perry had it, and Bob Hoffman, they didn't want bodybuilders in it at all. It was strictly weightlifters. Because I had interviewed Joe Weider, and he told me that they hated each other. That Bob Hoffman and Perry didn't like Joe because they thought bodybuilding was stupid, but they had to be weightlifters. And so they wouldn't allow any of this stuff in the magazine. So Joe came out with his own magazine. He told me when he was a kid, and he had two beautiful girls help him print it and distribute it. He's a good-looking guy. And he'd take a little red wagon like little kids have, and he'd go down the street and he'd put it in bookstores for free just to get the name out there.
That's right. That's right.
And it's a good story.
Yes, it is. It is.
And it got more and more popular. Then he ran a contest and another contest, and pretty soon it got bigger than anything that Iron Man ever done.
Yes.
But the mentality grew, and bodybuilding became more popular and worldwide, and nowadays it's all over the world and everybody's training.
Yeah. So, but now, see, our source of information now is internet based.
Yeah.
Okay, almost everybody's.
Yeah.
Back then, were you the same? Meaning, until you moved here, until you were among people that were bodybuilders, you know, that were actively competing, until you were among, like what I just said, the scene here in Venice and Santa Monica and the whole area, until you moved here. You know, were you like me in the way that it was just pretty much whatever I got through the magazines, and if I saw something really radical, like, you know, so-and-so blended up tuna fish in a blender and water and just chugged it down, I did it. I mean, you know, liver tablets. Yeah, I did them. You know, I mean, tons of them, you know. All of that. That was a big, big deal to me because the mentality was, you know, I always felt like I could never do enough. You know what I mean?
Well, I got stories for you. I ended up training at the YMCA with limited equipment.
Right.
Made good progress. Entered a powerlifting meet and did pretty well with squats, deadlifts, and bench press. But then I added some bodybuilding movements to see myself develop, and I started to. And then I started taking proteins. I wasn't sure what to take. I went to a local health food store and I saw this protein on the shelf, and it could have been soy for all I know, or it was also Hoffman's dehydrated fish powder, which was really gross. So I did what I could. There was a guy that worked at a Universal Health Spa, and he had protein tablets, chocolate and vanilla, and they were like chewy.
Yeah.
But who knew then? I mean, you did what you did. But my diet consisted of, I'd have spaghetti, I'd have grilled cheese sandwiches, and I drank 3 quarts of milk a day.
Wow.
And I really grew on the milk.
See, you know, we have the similarity as well that I started in the Glen Cove YMCA in Long Island, New York. Same thing as you in the YMCA. And when I was there, quite similarly, you know, there were people peddling little, you know, protein-ish type things, powerlifters, mainly powerlifters, right? And it was my uncle Tom, that he's the one who took me to that initial Boyer Coast seminar, that he was a doctor. So at the hospital, he had hospital-grade packets of protein powder that they would give to the patients. It could have been soy, it could have been, I don't know what kind of crap it was, but boy, it was disgusting chalk. And he would give me boxes of this stuff, and he'd go, yeah, down this. I was a skinny kid, put on a little bit of muscle, but all veiny everywhere. And he said, yeah, take that, a bunch of spaghetti, get some calories in you too, like this. And so I used to choke it down. It was disgusting.
Yeah,
but you do it.
Also, then they had vitamin E capsules, and oh my God, there was all kinds of stuff. There's a grain that I used to take, and also Energol.
Brewer's yeast?
Brewer's yeast. I used to take Brewer's yeast all the time, which was a B vitamin.
Right.
But the supplements were weird. And then I'm going to admit to something that I found out, that Bill Pearl was taking Dianabol, and I was like 17. What's Dianabol? I never heard of this in my life. I didn't know anything about steroids. They did not exist in my world.
Right.
So he said he grew on Dianabol. So I had a friend who was a delivery boy for a local pharmacy, and I said, you have Dianabol on the shelves down there? He says, I don't know, I'll go look. So what's he do? He brings me a bottle.
That was easy.
Yeah, it was $8 a hundred anyway, and you didn't really, you needed a prescription, but it was all legal.
Oof.
There wasn't illegal back then, so I said, okay, they're a 5 milligram pill made by Ciba, who's no longer in business. This was real deal American made.
That was the good stuff.
Yes. So I did 1 a day, then I went 2 a day. Within 2 weeks, I put on about 15 pounds, and I got thick and pumped, and I said, oh my God, I can't believe how this works.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
You got the secret.
Yeah, and I had no idea. My mom says, what are you doing? I said, eating Oreo cookies. So I took a bottle, and then I didn't do any for a long, long time, and then I hit him up for another bottle one day and realized that this is what a lot of guys are doing.
Right.
And then, of course, when I moved to Venice, a completely different role with, you know, the deletestrol and testosterone and DECA and all that stuff, but I didn't know anything about it, and I'd never had used it.
Well, and for all the guys that are about to go, aha, aha, like this, right? Because that's what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
You know, you, and just because of what I know about you, that we have similarly is the lifestyle. You've always dug the lifestyle, the training, the eating. You got excited when I told you about my friend the other day that I did a video on, right? That his breakfast was like yours, with the eggs, the hamburger patty, you know, the cottage cheese.
And he's 80 years old.
And he's 80.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, all of that, because if you don't enjoy that, this is part of the mentality. If you don't enjoy eating that way, if you don't enjoy training hard, then, you know, it's just not even worth doing. How many guys have you known over the years that it was just simply about the drugs? When they were on, they were beasts. They were eating right, training right, the girlfriend was happy, all that stuff, right? Or the boyfriend was happy, whatever. And then when they were off, they looked like nothing. They weren't training either.
No.
They didn't do anything. I thought, this is a waste of my time.
I gained weight, but when I went off the D-ball, I lose 4 pounds every time. It was water.
Only 4? See, compared to the guys I just described, only 4?
But I trained hard and I ate right, and so that's what maintained everything. Every time I did it, I went up a level, and I'd stay at that level, and when I went off, I'd pretty much stay at that level, and then increase it again, do a level again. Now we got to remember, you guys, this stuff was all legal back then. There was nothing illegal about that until the 80s. This was in the late 60s.
Right.
So whatever we took, if I asked my doctor for something, he said, sure, go out to the pharmacy, have him call me. I was at the pharmacy one day, and I said, I need to get some D-ball, and you can call my doctor. So they called the doctor. He was a ringside doctor in wrestling. I have Rick Drasin here, and he goes, give him anything he wants. Give him anything he wants.
Yeah, you had that kind of favor.
It was that type of deal. Or if I went to the wrestling show at night, I'd ask him, he just hold your hand out, he put it in my hand.
Oh, wow.
But that's how it was back in those days.
See, now that was apparently that way until like the mid-late 80s, right? Because they were all of a sudden I was at Gold's Gym in Venice. I came out here in 86.
Yeah.
So when I came out here, I was at Gold's Gym in Venice, and I mean, I'm the natural guy and all that stuff. That's cool. I never judged anybody who used, didn't use, and all that stuff, okay? But me doing what I do, I noticed everything that was going on around me as well. At that point, man, the bathtub drugs, the nasty people coming into the gym limping because they had like a infection in their hip, you know?
I've seen a lot of that.
Oh, from junk. They were shooting junk in their ass.
An abscess.
Yes.
They had to have it cut out. I trained natural for so many years, and I made great progress. I looked in the mirror and I said, this is not the same guy.
Yeah.
I was training hard. I was eating good. I wasn't eating exactly 100% right because, like I said, 3 quarts of milk a day and spaghetti and meatballs once a week. That was it. But most of the time, my mom would make salmon patties and egg salad and cottage cheese and things that I wanted to eat that were protein because I was really aware of that.
Yeah.
And I think it helped a lot. And I was training heavy, and I was just aware of what I was doing. And I think the number 2 thing you can do to get a good body is pose. If we were talking about this a while back, if you're in a mirror and you're going to shower, pose for 10 minutes. Hit those poses and really make them work because it brings out all your cuts and muscularity like you've never seen. There's a guy in my gym that he's always flexing and posing in the mirror, not to show off, but he does it in between reps. And I saw him late and I said, my God, Chris, you're the more muscular I've ever seen. He says, it's just the tightening of posing and working the muscle. And I really believe that.
Well, again, there's somebody out there right now going, he's loaded on this, that, or this and that. That's not true, though. We both know.
This guy takes nothing. And it's almost like doing yoga.
Right. So we both know. The truth is what he's saying is true. When you get out there and pose, whether you're on or whether you're off, natural, does not matter. It brings that hardness to the muscles.
No question about it.
It's just everything starts changing.
No question about it.
It's you know, when back in the day they used to talk about doing, you know, cable crossovers and certain exercises that had a peak contraction and flexing when you trained, right?
Yeah.
The whole idea itself works. Using it with resistance in the gym while you're training is fine too.
Yeah.
But posing all by itself, and we did a show on Jim Morris. Remember that? That you're bringing up one of the greatest points and why at times we looked so much different than a lot of the guys that, you know, never competed or weren't ever interested in it or just weren't around, you know, the top bodybuilders of the West Coast in Southern California. You know, there was a lot of posing going on too. I remember that one area in Gold's Gym, right up against the back door in the #1 room, right?
Yeah.
When that roll-up door is up, you've all seen those pictures of the famous bodybuilders standing there. Paul Dillette, Flex Wheeler, we've seen them all, right? And that one area right there, everybody knew that's where the light is.
Yeah,
everybody.
You gotta have the right light.
Right. And they go there and they pose it, you know, Chris Cormier, all of them, you know, it was great. You know, so they're just practicing when you're training as well. Pumped up and full. Man, it just brought a whole different look to that physical part.
It totally changed the body. I want to talk about something else too. I just had a physical through my cardiologist, and everything came out great. My cholesterol's down to 123, which is really low.
Yeah.
And I mentioned to him, I used to eat like a dozen eggs, maybe dozen and a half a day. I eat meat, I eat fats, I eat avocados, and I said, we know, and you and I know, that fats don't contribute to the cholesterol. He says, no, not at all. Your body either makes it or it doesn't. So all the eggs I eat showed nothing other than the fact my cholesterol is low. Mm-hmm. All right, so now I've signed on with a product that I talked to the owner yesterday, Egg Whites International. They've been around since 1999, and they manufacture egg whites, and we just got some in 2-gallon bottles of it, and it's been pasteurized. There's no salmonella, there's no bacteria, there's nothing wrong in there, and it's not like the thick egg that you do when you crack an egg and eat it. And when you crack an egg and eat the yolk, or eat the fat by itself, it doesn't digest properly. It's just gooey and slimy, and it just does not digest. This one does digest. Yeah. And you assimilate every bit of it, and it's much safer and better as far as protein content than taking a powdered protein that has fillers in it. This has no fillers. So he was explaining to me that you take about 6 squirts in the morning because it has a plunger, and you do about maybe 6 in the afternoon and another 6 before bedtime, and you'll sleep like a baby, and that going in there to build your muscle. Now, to me, it makes a lot of sense because I'm trying to get my protein level up. You want 1 gram per pound of lean body weight, so I need 220 grams a day. So if I divide that up, I have my meals and I have my egg white, the liquid in between, then that fills out the whole day. Right. And you guys can go on the website, Egg Whites International, look it up because it has recipes and stuff. You can put it in your cold coffee, iced coffee, and make a drink out of it that's a protein drink with the egg whites.
Well-established company. I can speak on them. I've used them as well. Yeah. Been around for, like you just said, 30 years
Since 1999.
Yeah, 30 years. So
that's not 30 years.
Sure it is.
No, it's not.
It's 20 years? 20 years. Yeah. I apologize. 20 years. Very good.
How's your math?
I know. So,
but I'm anxious to try this. I think it's really going to do a number for me. I guess all the greats and they all take it, and they're getting great results with it.
Convenient.
Yeah, it's convenient, and you can mix it with anything. It has no flavor to it. It's like water. I know that Jay Cutler uses it a lot for makes his protein drinks. You can put it in your cereal. You can put it in your iced tea, whatever you want, and it's right there. Yeah, and you just drink it down.
Yeah.
Now, he made me an offer to tell my audience out there, if you order and you want to get a discount, if you use Rick Drasin Special on the code, you'll get $10 off, and he'll send you a free piece of clothing, t-shirt, shorts, or whatever you want. And I think it's worth your while to go in there and do that. But remember to put down my name, Rick Drasin Special, and get your discount and try this, because it's proven to be really a good source of protein for your body. It also burns fat. It's good for your whole body. This stuff is amazing stuff, and I'm just so excited about it. I wouldn't be talking about it if I wasn't.
Right.
So
I carried the box in. Okay, I mean a few gallons.
Yeah,
worth
that's right over there.
It's nice.
And I'm very excited about doing this and seeing the results in the next few weeks. I had dropped 10 pounds this past week from. Well, I have an injury, as you guys know, and then I had a cardiologist tell me I had to take some stuff for my heart because the chamber is not functioning properly, but that's all under control now, and I'm training hard, and I'm right around 217, which is, for me, is actually, for the average guy, is pretty heavy.
Yeah.
For me, it's lean.
Yeah.
People guess me at 180. What are you, 180?
No.
Oh, I'm 217. No. And I guess I don't look it. I carry it differently than most.
Muscle weight, and you have it well distributed.
Yeah, and for my age, it's okay. So I just want to say you might want to try that protein, and I'm not trying to force you to buy it, but my God, I'm so excited about it. I can't.
Right.
There's so many proteins out there, but egg whites. I mean, even back in the days of Ed Giuliani and some of the guys down the Golds, he would live on eggs. All his meals were eggs. He made his best gains. I had a friend tell me I ate eggs for a whole month. Wow. Nothing but eggs. He said, I got big and I got ripped.
Yeah. So, I've used them. I've used the company as well.
Yeah,
very good.
Egg whites
very good. You know,
look it up.
And you still have that bodybuilder mentality, though. That's the whole point here too. You still have it, still going.
It's not going to go away.
No.
I just had lunch with a friend of mine, and I had a ham and cheese omelet with cottage cheese.
That's the way.
Do I like it? It's all right. Do I want it? Not really. What would you rather have, Rick? I'd probably have a bacon cheeseburger.
Right.
But then I can justify that by saying, well, the bacon is fats, the cheese and the meat is protein, lettuce and tomato is vegetable, and the bun is what? 70 grams of carbs. Big deal.
Right, but what you're doing, what you're talking about doing too, is you have a habit, a good habit. Just like Eddie Giuliani said to me when I pointed out to myself, eating out of a tin of tuna one day, can of tuna. And I said, Eddie, you know, aren't you a little bit about the mercury? I have tuna, I still do. But I said, you know, aren't you worried about a little bit with that mercury? And he goes, I've been eating tuna every day for lunch, a can a day, for 45, 50 years. You're telling me it's going to hurt me now like this? So he's not going to change it. That's what he does.
And he eats the eggs too. But the tuna out of a can to me is just not tasteless. I don't.
Yeah, well,
you can buy chicken in a can too.
Yeah, I like it from Costco.
Actually, tastes a little bit better.
No, I like it.
But I don't mind tuna with a little mayo, a little fats from the mayonnaise, and a little mustard. It flavors it up, and then I can stand it.
Yeah, I like it as well. I like it. I usually throw it on top of a huge salad at the end of the day.
Yeah, but tuna was a really good source of protein. You know, back in the days, I'd eat tuna all the time.
Yeah.
And back then, protein wasn't big because there was really no supplement companies other than Weider, and I want to say this, I didn't trust his product. I didn't think it was top notch.
Gave you gas. I mean, I'll say it. I have nothing to lose here. Gave you gas.
Rio Blair had the best protein ever, but Rio Blair's protein was a fortune.
Yeah, I heard.
I signed an agreement with him for modeling some of his products, so I got it free, but it's still, if you had to buy it today and it's out today, it's like $300 for a bottle of it.
Wow.
It's too much money.
Wow. Hey, can I add something to this today?
Yeah.
I'm thanking you on air right now. This man right here helped me out a lot with my channel, my YouTube channel, right? Mr. America Heart. Do you mind if I say that? Do a little self-advertising?
No, why you should.
So this man right here, I'm thanking him on the air. I love this guy right here. I'm shaking your hand. Thank you so much for your inspiration, but also showing me some things along the way. I've told him I've been like a sponge working with him. Love being on the show here. Love the input from you guys, and really thankful for being part of it. But also that Rick here has been a great example. It just got monetized last week.
That's
so
awesome.
You'll see a few ads on my, a few dollars here and there. It's kind of nice.
Hey, we all got to make our money somehow.
Yeah. Let those ads run through at least a few seconds, okay?
Yeah, that's right. We all have to make our money doing something, and if you have a channel and you have experience and you have advertisers, there's certainly no harm done. It's a business.
Nah, of course.
But the main thing is giving out good content like we're doing, and you guys for free. You can learn from this and utilize it towards yourself, and that's what it's all about.
And it's kind of fun too.
Yeah.
I mean, we always wonder where some of our inspiration, or the people that we watch, how they started or how they got into things, right? So it's kind of exciting sometimes.
Well, if you consider yourself a sponge, I'd like you to go in my kitchen there. I got some spots on the floor. All right.
Women love that sense of humor. See that?
You got to have it. Thank you so much for watching Rick's Corner, John. Thank you.
Hey, man. Thank you.
Great conversation.
I'll come back anytime you want.
I always enjoy you guys in my living room listening to me, or in your living room listening to me, because I feel like I'm there with you. And we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Hope you enjoyed the video brought to you by Old School Labs. Use my discount code DRASIN12 on the link below at oldschoollabs.com. Hey everyone, now you can have the Gold's Gym logo drawn by me, the artist Rick Drasin, personalized and made out to you and signed by me to frame and put on your gym wall or wherever you see fit to do so. It's a piece of bodybuilding history. It will never be duplicated again. It's the largest selling icon t-shirt logo in the world, and I'm the guy that drew it, and I will draw it for you. Just go to my website, rickdrasin.com, and order there. You can pay through PayPal, and it'll be sent out right away. And be sure to watch Rick's Corner for all the videos on bodybuilding, nutrition, fitness, pro wrestling, and anything that suits your interest as far as getting physically fit and being the best you can be from the golden era of bodybuilding.
He's the equalizer, baby. See you next time.